Now, young people across the country are counting down to the end of school, and with exams well underway, there's one big event still to come, the prom. They should be nice to create unforgettable memories, but their rising costs have made it harder for everyone to take part. This has led to some schools, like Auchenharvie Academy in North Ayrshire, taking matters into their own hands with a dress and suit donation service. Caitlin Hutchison went to see it in action.
You found the dream dress, Lauren, oh my goodness.
When I tried it on, I felt so beautiful.
I chose it because the minute I saw it, I fell in love with it.
Finding that perfect prom dress is all part of making it a night to remember. But for many families, the soaring cost of prom is something they'd rather forget.
We're really appreciative of these dresses because without that we would have been struggling to get a prom dress this year.
All the dresses are like designers, so you can't tell. They're like you've got your dress for free.
More than 300 outfits have already been donated to this high school to make sure no one misses out, including pupils from just down the road.
That is a great choice, Michaela.
Our families love the fact that they don't have that added expense. It means that pupils can actually attend prom. Some pupils will not go if they don't have a dress, so by coming here it makes their dreams come true.
I'm going to try that.
It feels like I'm in a shop. All these and all are...
So much choice.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm just finding out a black suit and a blue shirt because I can't wait to get to go to prom this year.
This scheme has equality at its heart, even down to how pupils arrive, with a bus booked to take them from school to the venue.
We had a helicopter one year and we have had a horse and cart, so everybody's travelling to the prom by the same method of transport, so there's no kind of, oh, am I going to get a limo or am I going to get that? I think that's really, really important, and that kind of puts it in a level playing field.
Here, at the other end of the scale, dresses can range from £125 to more than £500. But owners say you're paying for a personalised service.
Do you want to come forward?
They also offer flexible payment plans to customers who can't afford to pay up front. But even high-end businesses are feeling the squeeze.
Things are tight out there. Our margins are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. The customers are now demanding a certain standard of dress, and they've got a price that they won't go past, which was never the case in the past.
Whether it's designer from shops like these or a borrowed beauty, prom is about way more than just the dress. Prom prep has all sorts of hidden costs, but luckily enough, the support available goes way beyond the wardrobe.
This prom season, former pupils are back in their old school stomping ground, volunteering their time and expertise.
What was that, like 8 years ago we left?
Yeah.
So we see it working in beauty, like prices go up all the time.
We never went to prom as well either, and I know how much I regretted not going, and just my mum and dad, I was very last minute. They didn't really have the spare money to just drop here then you go to prom. So these wee cherries on top to just make you feel like what prom's supposed to make you feel like, special for a day.
Princesses and princes.
It's a community effort to make sure there's a fairy tale to fit every pocket.
The head teacher of Auchenharvie Academy, Callum Johnson, and parenting commentator Leanne Maguire joined us to discuss ways to make school proms more inclusive. Callum, we've just seen your school in the package. When did you identify that there was a need for this absolutely brilliant initiative?
I think anybody who's ever worked in a school will recognise that the issue of inequity at proms has been there for a long, long time, but certainly post-COVID it was something we recognised more and more in our own school, whether it be through slightly declining numbers or probably more likely to be young people, I would say, making excuses not to go or finding reasons not to go. And when you probe into that, there was definitely things we could do as a school, and we've taken that really seriously over the last few years.
Oh, so some kids were just opting out because they couldn't afford the nice dress?
Yeah, and the relationship we have with our young people and the knowledge we have of our families allowed us to kind of see that and identify that in a very subtle ways, be able to work with families and young people to be able to allow them to access what they need to get there.
And what's the response been from the parents and from the pupils? I mean, we saw a couple of the kids in the report are obviously just thrilled by having all these dresses.
Yeah, overwhelmingly positive, it really has, and this is part of a number of different things we do around the cost of the school day, both at Auchenharvie and across North Ayrshire Council. The response has been great. I would say there's zero stigma to this. It's just part of the culture of our school. If young people need, whatever it may be, to allow them to access the school and everything that comes with school, then it's there for them, and prom's very much part of that.
Leanne, people seem to go to enormous lengths now for proms in terms of, you know, what they're wearing, getting them. We heard in that report that someone went by helicopter.
Yeah, that's the first I've heard that. But yeah, I mean, limos, party buses, pamper parties before it, gift bags before it. I mean, I've heard it all, and it's a really expensive time of year in general for school, because you've normally got lots going on in the school, lots of end of year activities, and then to have a prom, the pressure of a prom on top of that, and I think certainly from your package as well, we need to remember that for young girls there's added pressure, because it's like the makeup, the lashes, the nails, so it's not even just about the dress. So I'm sure like initiatives like this cause great relief to the young people and the parents. I know that there's a lot of this that happens across the country, but also one thing that I think we need to celebrate is that a lot of our young people think more about sustainable fashion now. So it's not always just about helping people in need or helping people that can't afford to go to prom. There's also that kind of environmental aspect of it, which our young people are so in tune to.
But parents are under a lot of pressure to do the best for their children, aren't they, Cal? They
really are, and more we see that every day. And the cost of living crisis nationally is well documented. We see that every day in our practices in school. So it's nice to be able to do this. It's nice for young people to get the same experience as their peers. One of the things you mentioned there about the helicopter and the horse and cart, we have every young person who travels on the same bus and they come back on the same bus. So there's no differentiation there around money. And we do our very best around all the other aspects of getting all of our young people to prom as smart as they possibly can be, and they have a great time.
You were also saying that it's kind of filtered down into primary school now as well, like the P7 leaving do is becoming a really big thing.
Many primary sevens now have an end of year prom, so I can imagine that's very stressful for parents, because you think, I've got a while yet before I need to consider this, but unfortunately we're seeing it younger and younger, and it's the same level sometimes. So anything schools can do like this to level that playing field. I mean, I'm always, like, we can't tell a parent off if it's within a parent's means to provide more for their child, because you're always going to want to give your children the best of everything. But I think as parents we need to remember that the school is a community, and we want everybody to have the same experiences within that community, regardless of their income or what they can afford. And so certainly my message would be to parents to just be a wee bit more mindful of the community that they are in, of the school that they're in, and if they know that there's families that struggle, maybe think about their own choices. Is this a wee bit extravagant? Are we putting pressure onto other parents by what we're doing as well? And maybe just try and make sure everybody's more involved.
And to talk to the school. You know, it's been great, you've documented the work we do in our own school tonight, but lots of schools are doing something very similar, you know, and I think of that as a factor. It's really important to talk to the school, you know, use that relationship and help as best we possibly can.
And so how has this become such a big deal? I mean, remember back in the day, when I was at school, it was a very low-key affair. You'd borrow a friend's frock and it would be a bit of a ceilidh and that was it, but it's massive now.
Yeah, it's very much Americanisation, I think, of education. Lots of our young people access their media and all the various things on their tablets and things. It's very Americanised.
Social media plays a big part. It's that competitiveness, like they want to make the grand entrance, they want to look fantastic for the likes and the shares and the engagement on social media. I think that plays a big part in it.
Gosh, and social media's got a lot to answer for, hasn't it?
Unfortunately, yes.
But, you know, all that aside, we have to remember that this is it's an important milestone, the prom, isn't it?
It absolutely is. I mean, in our school, it's very much for the young people who make it all the way to the end of S6, it's the rite of passage into the next chapter of their lives. It's important that we mark that, but it's even equally important that we mark it in such a way that everybody feels part of the community and equally valued.
Yeah, we do agree with that.
It's the big farewell of that school. They've spent, if it's senior school, they've spent 6 years there. It's a long time. They've just finished their exams. They've been stressed. It's that one moment to just let go, say goodbye to all your teachers, say goodbye to your fellow pupils and move on to the next part of your journey.
Yeah, okay. And just very briefly, you were on some working committee.
Yeah, so I was part of Scottish Government's uniform working group for their recent guidance, and this was a big part of it, talking about those life events through school, like communions, proms, World Book Day, Halloween. And really we should always be thinking about the cost of the school day and what a school can do, just like this, to make these events more inclusive.
So it has been kind of officially recognised, hasn't it? Oh, well, we'll leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us this evening.